I'm Dwyer, a second-year law student at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. I'm running to be next year's GPSA president. For the past year, I have been president of the Pitt Law Democrats and an officer in Pitt Outlaw, the LGBT advocacy organization at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. As president of GPSA, I would work very actively to oppose Governor Corbett's budget proposal and to oppose the service cuts of the Port Authority. I feel that a lot of the skills that I developed over the past year working with the Pitt Law Democrats in various positions at the law school would transfer very well into the presidency of GPSA, and I would love the chance to do that.
What kind of skills, specific skills, would you bring to the position?
Over the last year I was president of the Pitt Law Democrats and an officer in Pitt Outlaw, and in that capacity I have organized several events to try and increase the awareness of the community among our close community of law students. So I've organized events like major policy speeches by Joe Sestak, last year's U.S. Senate candidate, and talks by Dan Honorato, our current county executive and gubernatorial candidate. And I've organized events with local officials as well to try and promote awareness among the student body, which often does not know what's going on in the local community and often doesn't vote. So I think that in that capacity, I've developed a wide range of skills and connections with the local community that would transfer very well into the presidency of GPSA, especially roles such as advocacy. As Pitt Outlaw is a very strong advocate on behalf of the rights of LGBT students, and so in that capacity we've had Representative Dan Frankel, who is Pitt's representative and a strong proponent of House Bill 300 to end employment discrimination against LGBT students. And so in that aspect, there's been a lot of advocacy on my part to try and promote these policies on campus and try to help the efforts in the State House. So I think these skills will transfer over very well.
What are some of the changes that you would bring to the position and to GPSA in general?
Well, I don't know exactly what changes I would bring to the position itself, but to GPSA in general, I would just work particularly to make sure that all students know what GPSA does and what they're all about. I know, being at the law school and probably in a lot of the other professional schools, there's really no knowledge of GPSA. I know that a lot of law students didn't know GPSA existed until the announcements for elections came out. And I know that over the last year, the GPSA leadership has been working to fix that, but it's something that needs to be continued going forward, I think, and especially emphasized by next year's leadership. Because, in places like the law school where, we have our own library, we take all our classes in this one building, we don't get a lot of, experience with the rest of the students and the student body. So I think that making sure that the students know that GPSA is there, that they're there to promote their interests and to kind of integrate the student body in a way that it hasn't previously been. I think that is something that should be focused on. Additionally, I think that GPSA should really hype up its advocacy role. I know that this is also something that the previous GPSA leadership has been working on, but it's something that definitely needs to be continued forward. Things like the $110 million being cut from Pitt's budget, the Port Authority service cuts, the previous tuition tax, these are all things that GPSA has been and needs to continue to be out in front on, because Pitt's 10,000 grad students are really not going to fare well with service cuts, budget cuts, tuition taxes, and things like that. And politicians need to know that the students are here and that we are not going to just let them do whatever they want.
Why did you choose to run for this position in particular?
I chose to run for president in particular because, largely because I don't have any specialized skills, I would probably say. But all kidding aside, particularized positions like VP of Finance and VP of Communications, they're things that I don't have the particularized skills for those, but I think that in a more general aspect over the last year with the Pitt Law Democrats, with the Pitt Outlaw, with these organizations, I've developed roles. I develop in roles that are very similar to what the GPSA president has been doing in previous years, and these include political advocacy, advocacy on behalf of students, and working to make sure that students know what's going on in the community, that students know each other basically, and I feel that the role that I've had over the last year is going to transfer very nicely to the GPSA presidency in that respect. So that's why I focused in on that position as opposed to any of the others.
Great. Thank you very much.